All right, on this episode of Bouts Talking Bouts, we have a fight going at Bellator 238. It's happening January 25th, and it's a bantamweight tilt going on between Alfred Kasakian and Sergio Pettis. And I've got Sergio on the show right now. How's it going so far there, man?
How you doing, brother?
Oh, it's going well on my end. I'm just wondering how you're feeling, like just getting ready for the big Bellator debut and everything like that. Does it feel a great deal different than any like UFC fight weeks or anything, or I guess any UFC preparations rather, or is it kind of just like everything's? Is it different? Is it similar? Like, how would you characterize the feeling? I suppose.
Well, as of now, I feel like it's all the same. I'm prepping for the same. I'm prepping for a fight the same way I would prep for a UFC fight. Haven't been to the Bellator place yet. I'm in LA, so I'm new out there just in general. I'm not sure what the difference is, but I've been around for a while, so none of that really matters. All I'm really focused on is the fight.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm curious what your thoughts are on your opponent's skill set and just what they bring to the table and everything like that. I was checking out their record, and they're on a 3-fight win streak with the different finishes in their last few outings. And he's had fights with guys like Sean O'Malley and Juan Archuleta. How would you characterize your opponent's skill set ahead of the fight?
Yeah, I think Elfen's he's a tough fight, man. He's gonna come out there and he's gonna go out there and try to finish. All of his 11 wins are by finish, by knockout. I think he's gonna go out there and push the pace, try to be aggressive, be very aggressive towards me, and I'm gonna go out there and do what I do best, man. I'm gonna go out there and have some fun and show the world that I'm better than this man.
Yeah, for sure. And when you kind of entered free agency, you were talking about how just the vibe with Bellator seemed like it coincided with sort of what you wanted to do. What exactly do you mean as far as like the general vibe? Like, what was it that attracted you to like what Bellator was, bringing to the table on a contractual offer?
Yeah, man. They offered an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. Being 26 years old, I feel like I'm at a young enough age where I could, make a business move and make a move to make my name a little bit bigger, outside of the UFC, and to realize that I'm a mixed martial artist. No matter where I go, I'm a mixed martial artist at heart. And as long as I get a fight and have a platform, this is all that matters to me. So that's where thank you for the opportunity, and we're excited to go out there and put on for you guys, man.
Yeah, for sure. And I was noticing relatively recently you earned your BJJ black belt. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a while, so to get that was very surprising, and didn't expect it. So excited to go out there and showcase my whole skill set, man. I'm not just a stand-up fighter. I'm a mixed martial artist. I'm good on the floor. I'm good wrestling, and I'm gonna go out there and put it all together for you guys.
Yeah, it must have been a great distinction, especially coming from a two-time Pan Am's champion like Daniel Vanderlei.
Yes, Damian's been my coach for a while, and he's put in a lot of work for me, and we've grown a lot together. So definitely honored to be a black belt under Daniel Vanderlei.
Yeah, for sure. And predominantly in your career, you've been fighting at 125 pounds. You do have some bantamweight experience, but you're looking like you're going to be fully a part of the Bellator 135-pound roster. How does it feel to be, I mean, I imagine there's a great deal more energy preparing for a fight at 135 versus 125, but what are some of the other differences you've noticed in that regard?
I just feel like my body's growing, man. At the age of 26, I feel like I'm starting to become more of a man. And, the weight cuts are 25. They're not hard. I'm a strict athlete, but I just feel like it's a good move for me. Why put myself through all that extra weight cut when I'm good enough to fight at 135? So I'm gonna go out there and have some fun, man. Go out there and do what I do. Doesn't matter what weight class. I'm gonna go out there and showcase my skills.
Yeah, for sure. You got some great opportunities in that regard. And you also got a teammate on the roster and in the same division too in Rafael Stotts. So is he a guy you're sparring with a fair bit ahead of, this fight here? Like you've been getting in some work with Rafael?
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of work in with Rafael throughout the past, I believe, 3 years he's been with us now. So, yeah, man, he's a great teammate. He's constantly grinding, constantly getting better, and we're on the same page. We're just going to continue getting each other better and keep building each other up in these ranks.
It's a cool dynamic. Because I actually interviewed Rafael, and he was saying that just because you guys are in the same division and everything like that, it would never create any kind of issue if both of you are trying to, vie for a championship. So it's cool that you guys seem to have that kind of like camaraderie with one another.
Yeah, man, we're very cool, very close. I got no hostile feelings for Rafael. He's a great guy, great dad, great teammate. So I wish him the best always. So that's why I prep him for the best.
Absolutely. And, speaking of the championship situation, Horiguchi vacating the belt due to the knee injury, and everything like that. And there's certain guys in the mix, like, I'm not to be punny, but there's guys like Patrick Mix who are kind of at the top of the heap, and certain guys like that. Has Bellator at all communicated to you that this fight has title implications, like in as far as if you win this fight, you'd be in a position to vie for the vacant championship, or has nothing like that been communicated?
Nothing really has been communicated at all about that. So, honestly, I'm not even focused on that. I'm very focused on who's in front of me. Whatever happens after that will happen. All I gotta do is get steady. Whatever happens, man. As long as I get my hand raised next Saturday, that's my goal.
Yeah, for sure. And you got to focus on what's in your immediate control. And it seems like the recuperative measures are very much in your control. And it seems like the CBD is a big part of that. So how long have you been using different CBD products? It seems like the tinctures are pretty key for you.
Yeah, I've been using CBD distiller for the past year and a half now, and honestly, it's amazing. It's definitely needed during camps. Going through all the physical abuse and you put your body through an pressure camp, definitely needed. And I also deal with some anxiety myself, so when I take the CBD, I just feel more calm and more relaxed. So definitely helps out.
Yeah, it seems like you relax also with like getting out there and getting some fishing going on. You seem like a pretty avid fisherman based on the Instagram pics. Does that have any utility as far as like cooling down from the hard training and stuff like that?
Yeah, man, I love fishing. I think it teaches you a lot about patience, and sometimes in the fight game, you gotta be patient, and just in life. So I think it's a good life for her. It's awesome catching some monsters. So I'm like catching big fish. Me and my cousin go out and eat them. Lately, haven't been able to go out too much. The one frozen yet, so I'm definitely waiting to go ice fishing.
Yeah, ice fishing's actually a blast. I got to do that when I was living in northern Alberta. And yeah, digging the hole was the big part for me that I liked. I've got that like kid mentality of like dig the deepest hole you can, so I was digging that part.
Yeah, man. So we're intimidating out there too. You got ice, you get the ice cracking and stuff. So definitely cool. Just got into ice fishing about like 2 years ago, so I'm not a big fan of the cold, but it's actually making me like the pool.
Yeah, for sure, man. And usually when I have fighters on the show and I'm talking to them about the preparations for fights, I usually ask if there's any music they're partial to train to, like if there's like artists that really get them fired up or particular genres or anything like that. I noticed you watched a Breakfast Club interview and you were kind of singing some random Tekashi 6ix9ine lyrics. So is that kind of the stuff you're training to, or what would I find you jamming if you get a hold of the aux cord at Rufus Sport?
Yeah, man, honestly, I feel like the older I'm getting, the more I like to hear more just calming music, more like kind of like reggae, some R&B, just stuff that puts me in a vibe. When I go out there and fight, I don't want to go out there and fight tense. I'm a loose fighter. I like to go out there and flow, kind of like in a dance still. So I listen to a lot of reggaeton, a lot of Spanish music too. I might not understand it, but it's just the way it makes my body move and feels good.
Yeah, that must help for certain exercises that are centric on like footwork and just keeping a certain pace.
Yeah, especially when it's on high paced type pads. You don't wanna. I feel like I like to listen to calm music and just to relax. Kind of like how the ties, it'll have that little music in the background. It's not very, like aggressive. It's kind of just like a chill, kind of find your grooves, kind of find your mode.
Yeah, definitely, man, for sure. And you've been really good with your time, though. I'm curious if there's anything you'd like to add, kind of as a parting thought as we're wrapping up here.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just wondering if you have a parting thought you'd like to add as we're kind of wrapping up here.
Oh, no, man. Everything's good, man. It's very blessed with this opportunity. I just want to say thank you to Bellator and all my sponsors that help me out daily. CBD Distilling, and also food for my dog sponsor, Core. Thank you guys, and it's been a pleasure so far. I'm excited to continue to grow.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting fight for sure. Bellator 238 is going down January 25th, a bantamweight tilt between Alfred Kasakian and Sergio Pettis. Thanks again for all the time and insights, man. Best of luck with the remaining part of your preparations, and have a good rest of your night as well.
Thank you, brother. You too, man. Have a good night.